part of that equation is that if you do leave that text and you're looking around for where does this angel that's so famous that Benjamin carried around with him turn up, his first stab at it is the exact opposite. It's at the end of the Kraus essay, and what he calls the Novellus angel, the angel Angelus Novus, the clay painting is a monster, an ungeheuer, who beats the shit out of the Übermensch. It's a diatribe against Nietzsche when Benjamin was feeling his muscle, and kind of, I guess, deflecting on the trope that if Nietzsche tells his story by moving to this figure of the Übermensch, it's still a ratcheting up of the trope of the Mensch in Benjamin's thinking. And so he's looking for a force that's more violent, more semiotically dismembering than Nietzsche is capable of. You know, that's pretty muscular, at least rhetorically, and pretty much the opposite of the angel, where the angel shows up qua angel. So I would say keep in mind that this turns out to be a negative angel for Benjamin, not the positive one the interpreters carried. And this is an example of disinscription. If this inscription that is this text becomes a core satellite of exchange and transfer and a kind of grand central station of a generation of readers or beyond, who are going to go back to draw upon that, and you alter the very terms out of which that performance can be read, and it already includes destroying the very readings that it drew to it first, then there's an aggression against the very fact of interpretation, and I'd say the contract of readership. I would say this mountain of the undead stand in for Benjamin's potential readers at that point. You know, and this is where one understands what weak messianism is or isn't, because messianism is messianism. You can't kind of water it down. But you're going to bring a Messiah back, but say, okay, this is like the dime store version. Wait a little bit, listen to him for a while, then the real guy's going to show up. It's not going to work that way. There would be no weak messianism that didn't let the air out of the trope entirely. Now, Demond says this specifically. No messianism at all. But I got into this text because I was polemicizing with Derrida, who I found various soft points of blind spots in. Not big ones, but they're there. And I'd like to kind of poke them to see where that would reorganize whatever he's doing or not. And for one reason or another, the splendid text of Spectres of Marx, very valuable text, nonetheless, swings back to appropriate this trope from Benjamin, thinking he's on safe terms doing so, and Derrida retreats then. He plays a card that I think gets him in trouble in his late text. He's very mindful of an audience that could accept the nature of what he's doing without falling immediately into polemics and heuristics. So he was playing a kind of linguistic double game, but I think in the process he missed the shot. And so we have to go back to Benjamin's text. Once you read it otherwise, if you do, once you choose to speculate on why this angel is worthy of being destroyed, and you begin to consider that what functions as the angel in our own processing of information, time, opinion, reaction formations, is something we can identify ourselves doing all the time too, potentially. Then you start to say, okay, what does it mean to then turn from that into something that doesn't have a name, doesn't have a persona, doesn't have an anthropic face in a beautiful sketch by clay. Let's just call the storm. What would be the nature of a storm that is simultaneously of technology and of what a storm would be, or what Avi calls the unreadability of weather, or the unreadability of the violence of mutating weather. So, in a sense, disinscription is something we're kind of parodying and rereading a core little text this way and turning it against an entire tradition of reading and interpretation. And I guess the kind of mystery subtext is that our very organs of processing time and the past can be viewed through the kind of mechanics of reading itself, or as a